Good evening. I'm William Kentridge, talking to you from my studio in Johannesburg, with apologies that I'm not with you in person for this exhibition at Annandale Galleries. We're in the final stages of preparations for a theatre project that will open in Arles in south of France in July. All the green in the studio has to do with images of an imagined Martinique for this project, but not for this current exhibition. There are different sections to the exhibition that reflect work done over the last couple of years. There are the bronze sculptures which continue work in this medium that's been going on for many years. They start as small sculptures and then expand into the medium-sized bronzes on the exhibition, and some of them into 3 or 4 meter enlargements of these sculptures. But the first project is the projection of the film of Sibyl. Sibyl was the prophetess from outside Naples who would tell your fortune, and you would write your question to the Sibyl on an oak leaf, and a leaf is also a page of a book. So you would write your question on the page of the book, and you would leave your pages, your leaves, at the mouth of her cave, and she would answer your questions. How long will I live? Will I die of COVID? And she would leave the leaves at the mouth of the cave. But as you went to collect your leaf, your answer, a wind would blow up, so that you never knew if the leaf or the page you were catching was your fate or somebody else's fate. So for this, there were many paintings, many drawings on many pages of books disassembled, books reconnected, to show the, I suppose, the fallibility, the vulnerability, the state we were all in the period of COVID. It's the pages of the Sibyl that are dispersed and regathered in a book. The second body of work to talk a bit about is the colored sculptures. These started off again with finding the right book. I'm always looking for old books to draw in. It partly has to do with the sense of old histories reinscribed with a new meaning, but it also has to do with the quality of the paper. In this case, I found some paper from a cash book from Palermo from 1825, and this has a beautiful tooth to it. And I'd both worked on this with ink, with charcoal, but then also with patches of color, making colored sheets. And then these sheets were torn up into different shapes, and then the shapes very simply rearranged. And then to hold them together, I put them on a small wire armature. And they were halfway between images of the leaves of the Sibyl or the tree of the Sibyl, things that grew from a stalk, and also a sense of figures in motion. So they started off as these small paper objects held together with wire and masking tape, and then enlarged them to the scale they are in the exhibition, in which we cut aluminium the same size as to the same proportions as the torn sheets of paper, and then they are painted with oil paint, reproducing both the color and also the fine Italian writing on the pages. So they're always about a translation, in this case from color and to scale, and there's also a version of these that is 5 meters high or 4 meters high to go in gardens. But these are works done over the last 8 months. And etchings have always been both a part of the work that I have done and a part of the work that Bill and Anne Gregory have shown in their galleries over the years and all the many exhibitions we have done together. And they're both large-scale etchings here, but there's also a particular set of etchings referring to studio life. During the period of the first lockdown for COVID, and then over the next 3 years, I worked on a series of 9 films about life in the studio, how one makes meaning in the materials and through the materials of the studio, thinking in ink, thinking in paper, thinking through cardboard, giving the image and the impulse the benefit of the doubt. This is a series of 9 films for streaming about studio life. Each film is about half an hour long. They're showing at the moment at the Venice Biennale, and they'll also be streaming, as they should be in the middle of the year, on the Mubi streaming platform. But when they were done, there were a series of images from them that I wanted to hang on to. And these we turned into photogravures. So they're a mixture of photographs of fragments of the filming of the series of what happens, all in the studio. The whole set is set in this studio. The studio as a kind of enlarged head. The idea that the way the thoughts in your head move the few centimeters from one part of the brain to the other and across and come into consciousness. In the same way, when one does the walk around the studio, it's not the 3 centimeter movement of the ideas in your head, but a 15 or 8 meter walk around the studio with all the objects and thoughts stuck on the walls of the studio. Anyway, that is the basis for the series of films, and the photogravures that are on exhibition here are made from this. They're a mixture of double exposed photographs. They're translated into copper plates with different layers of gelatine and light sensitive materials, and there's also a dry point addition to the etchings. I hope this gives you some sense of the range of the work, and again, I'm sorry I'm not there to take you around and show you each work individually, but I'm very happy you're here today seeing the exhibition, and I hope that at least some of the work talks to you in ways that may be surprising. Thank you.